Dear soul, today, I bring you a message that carries a powerful energy and reveals what has been kept deep in the heart of someone very special. Imagine a moment of pause, when emotions finally break through the barriers of silence and come to life through sincere words. This person, whose presence in your thoughts has been constant, decided to open up to their best friend. It was an act of courage, a confession made not only to relieve his own heart, but also to organize the feelings that seem uncontrollable. This confession wasn't just an outburst. It was the weight of something that had been building up for a long time, and which, at that moment, found room to flow. The words came out full of emotion, alternating between pain, relief, and the intensity of a love that could never be fully revealed. Perhaps she began by saying, "I miss her every day. It's not just the absence that hurts. It's knowing that she may never know how important she is to me." Before continuing the message, write this mantra in the comments. The universe is conspiring in my favor. Now, to continue the message, the angels whisper that this venting was more than a momentary relief. It was like turning on a light in the middle of the darkness, illuminating a path that seemed lost. This person, who had so often chosen silence, felt that her heart could no longer stand alone, and it was in this moment of vulnerability that she began to see how deep and true the emotions she carries for you are. The conversation with her friend unfolded like a dance between regret and hope. The regret of not having acted sooner, of not having said what your heart was crying out for, and the hope that there might yet be an opportunity to correct the course of history between you. The friend, who listened attentively, replied with words that carried the wisdom of angels. "If you feel it so strongly, why don't you try? Why let this feeling suffocate you?" This interaction, dear Alma, was the turning point. This person's heart began to understand that the fear of losing may be worse than the fear of opening up. The angels tell us that while this confession was happening, there was a healing energy spreading. It was as if the universe was aligning the pieces, preparing the ground for a greater revelation. But what does this mean for you? It means that the love you awaken is so strong that it transcends barriers, touches souls, and manifests itself even in absences. Confessing to your friend is proof that your gestures, your words, and even your essence have left a deep mark. You are the center of thoughts that have the power to transform, to inspire, to make someone want to be better. Dear soul, the angels are asking you to keep your heart open to the possibilities. This person is beginning to realize that there is no room for regrets in a heart full of love. They are being guided to a moment of clarity and action, and you play an important role in this awakening. What comes next can bring relief, understanding, and perhaps even the realization of something that has long seemed distant. Allow yourself to feel the depth of this message. Reflect on what you really want for this connection, and trust that the angels are guiding everything with divine perfection. Your love, your patience, and your authenticity have been the light that illuminates this person's steps, even if they are still gathering the courage to speak to you directly. Dear soul, this is just the beginning of a journey that promises to reveal much more about this person's feelings for you. Keep believing, because the universe is working to bring out the hidden truths. As this person opens up about their emotions, something profound begins to change. The confession to the friend was the first step on an internal journey that is now overflowing with intense reflections. The words spoken at that moment come back like echoes, resonating in their mind and heart, bringing a whirlwind of feelings that the angels describe as the beginning of a transformation. Imagine this person sitting alone, perhaps looking at a familiar landscape, but feeling that everything around them has changed. With each passing moment, regret takes on a sharper form, like a mirror reflecting what could have been. The angels tell her that she is facing a path not taken, and the questions that were once avoided now become inevitable. Why didn't I have the courage to speak out? Is there still time? What if she no longer wants to hear what I have to say? Before we continue this message, write in the comments, "I trust in divine timing to bring the truth." Let's move on. The angels reveal that, for this person, repentance is not just a feeling, but an opportunity. It challenges them to face their own vulnerability and understand that, although time has passed, the connection they feel with you is still alive, pulsating, undeniable. The memories she keeps are not just memories. They are sparks of something that has never ceased to exist. There's a scene that the angels share, like a glimpse into that person's emotions. It's a moment when they hold something that reminds them of you. It could be a gift, a photo, or even a song that plays unexpectedly on the radio. At that moment, her eyes fill with tears, and she realizes that the feelings she tried to repress are still with her, as strong as ever. This reflection is not easy. The angels show that this person feels fear that your life has moved on without her, that you are no longer willing to make room for a reconnection. But at the same time, a spark of hope appears. Something inside her whispers, "You don't know the answer until you try." Maybe it's time to change that. The friend who received her confession plays an important role at this point. They become a voice of encouragement, saying things like, "If you feel this deeply, you shouldn't keep it to yourself." Even if she doesn't feel the same, at least you'll have the peace of knowing that you tried. This advice, although simple, touches her heart deeply, awakening a desire to overcome the barriers she has built herself. Dear Alma, the angels ask you to look at this moment with compassion. Just as you have your own wounds and doubts, this person is dealing with an intense process of healing and self-discovery. It's not easy to face up to your own mistakes, to admit to yourself that pride and fear have taken their toll. But they are willing to face up to it, because their feelings for you are stronger than any insecurity. At this point in the journey, there is an energy of reconnection beginning to form. It's as if the universe is aligning the circumstances so that this person can take the next step. They know they can't go back in time, but the angels encourage them to believe that the present can still be a place of possibility. Dear soul, as this person prepares to take action, the angels are asking you to connect with your own truth. What do you want from this connection? Are you ready to listen to what they have to say? And more importantly, are you ready to leave the past where it belongs, making room for something new and transformative? On the path between regret and action, there is a crucial moment when choices take on weight and meaning. That's where this person is now. Confession was the start of an internal journey, but now she faces a dilemma that consumes her thoughts. Should I risk everything and open my heart, or should I go on living with the weight of what could have been? The angels reveal that this is the stage where fear and courage fight an intense battle. On the one hand, fear whispers words of doubt and insecurity, reminding her of the possible consequences of exposing herself. On the other, courage insists that the truth needs to be told, that love deserves a chance to express itself. This conflict, although painful, is a sign that this person's heart is awake and willing to fight for what they feel. Before continuing with the message, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. This helps us to continue creating meaningful content for you. Continuing the message, the angels share a vision. This person is mentally rehearsing a conversation with you. Perhaps in a quiet room or during a solitary walk, they go over words and phrases, trying to find the best way to express themselves. They imagine what it would be like to stand in front of you, look into your eyes, and finally say, "I need you to know how much you mean to me. I've kept it in for so long, but I can't hide it any longer." There's a sense of urgency that grows every day. The angels show that this person has realized something important. Time is precious, and opportunities don't wait. They understand that if they keep putting it off, they could miss the chance to reconnect with you. This realization pushes them forward, even as fear tries to pull them back. Dear soul, the angels ask you to consider the transformative power of vulnerability. This person, who has chosen silence and distance for so long, is now allowing herself to be vulnerable. It's not easy, but it's real. They are learning that there is no shame in feeling deeply, in opening up, even if the outcome is uncertain. The angels also reveal that, during this phase, there are signs around you, little clues that this person is moving towards you. It could be something subtle, like an unexpected message, a like on an old photo, or even a change in the way they interact with you. These actions, however discreet, carry the intention of establishing a bridge, of creating an opening for the conversation you so desire. Meanwhile, this person is still dealing with their own fears. The biggest of these is the fear of rejection. They fear that by opening up, they might hear something they're not ready to face. But the angels are by her side, whispering words of encouragement, reminding her that the truth, even when difficult, is always liberating. Dear soul, the angels want you to know that this person is in a phase of preparation. They are gathering strength, seeking clarity and connecting with their essence in order to find the right words and the ideal moment. This process is just as important as the conversation itself, because it is helping them to grow, to become someone more authentic and aligned with their own heart. The angels ask you to remain receptive. They understand that you also have your wounds, your doubts, and your own fear of getting hurt again. But they also remind you that love is a journey, not a destination. And sometimes that journey requires us to open our hearts, even in the face of uncertainty. Dear soul, as this person prepares to take the next step, the angels encourage you to reflect on what you want from this moment. Are you ready to listen to what they have to say? Are you willing to allow this conversation to happen with an open heart and a clear mind? This person's courage, however fragile, is a testament to how much you mean to them. And even if the road is uncertain, the angels are by your side, guiding your every step and lighting the way for the truth to prevail. In the gentle but insistent rhythm that love has of finding its own paths, this person is approaching the moment of truth. The angels tell us that she has finally decided, I need to do this. I need to tell her how I feel. It wasn't an easy decision. Each stage so far has been marked by hesitation and deep reflection, but now courage seems to be taking over. The angels describe this phase as a journey of reconnection, not only with yourself, but also with her. In order to be able to speak her mind, this person has had to delve into her inner self, face shadows she previously avoided, and rediscover what is really important to her. You, dear soul, are the center of this rediscovery. Imagine this person in a moment of introspection, perhaps leafing through a diary or rereading old messages exchanged with you. Each word, each memory, brings up emotions that they thought were dormant. But in fact, these feelings never went away. They were just waiting for the right moment to resurface. The angels share a significant detail. This person is looking for their voice. It could be listening to an old audio, or just trying to remember the sound of your words and how they made them feel at peace. There is something comforting in their memory, something that gives them the strength to face their fear and move on. But this journey is not without its challenges. The angels tell us that at this point, pride may try to take its last breaths. It's as if there's an inner voice saying, what if she doesn't want to listen? What if it's too late? These thoughts generate hesitation, but are quickly silenced by a greater desire to try, to at least be honest with yourself. Dear soul, before we continue, write in the comments, I accept what the universe has in store for me. Let's move on. The angels want you to know that although this person is moving towards you, the process will not be linear. There may be small steps backwards, moments of silence as they try to gather the necessary courage. But each pause is followed by a breakthrough, by a gesture that reveals the depth of what they feel for you. The signs of reconnection are everywhere. Perhaps she'll start appearing more in places where you are. Perhaps a shy message will appear on your cell phone. Something like, hi, I remembered you today. Small gestures that, to the attentive eye, carry a universe of meaning. The angels tell us that these actions, however small they may seem, are marked by a clear intention to build a bridge between the two of you. In this process, there is also mutual learning taking place. You, dear soul, are being invited to realize that divine time is different from ours. What seems like delay is actually preparation. The angels are asking you to take advantage of this moment to reflect on your own feelings, to ask yourself, am I ready to listen to and welcome this person? Am I willing to make room for something new, or to resume what was interrupted? This journey of reconnection is not just about her, it's about both of you. The angels are creating an energy field around this situation, a space where forgiveness, understanding, and love can flourish. They know that for this to happen, you both need to be ready to let go of old hurts and look to the future with hope. Dear soul, the angels also point out that while this person is approaching, it's important that you keep your energy up. Surround yourself with things that do you good, that remind you of your value and the light you carry. Because whatever happens next, you deserve all the happiness the universe has to offer. This person is walking towards you, and the angels are by their side, guiding their every step. When the right moment arrives, it will be as if all the pieces of a puzzle finally fit together. Trust that what lies ahead will be for the greater good of both of you. What was rehearsal? Doubt and hesitation turns into action, not without effort, not without nerves, but with a strength that comes from the heart and the desire to reconnect. The angels reveal that, at that moment, she approaches you with carefully chosen words, but with feelings that are impossible to contain. Perhaps the conversation begins in an unpretentious way, with a simple, "How are you?" But soon the intensity grows. There is a palpable nervousness in her voice, a glint in her eyes that denounces the importance of what she is about to say. She takes a deep breath and lets the words flow. "I need you to know something I've kept for a long time." At that moment, time seems to stop. Each word carries the weight of months, perhaps years of silence. I thought I could forget, move on. But the truth is that you're in everything. In my thoughts, in the music I listen to, in the places I visit. You've never left my heart. Before continuing the message, write in the comments, I accept this transformation with love and gratitude. Let's move on. This confession is not easy. She trembles, stutters, but doesn't stop. What drives her is the certainty that, even without guarantees, this truth needs to be told. I know it took me a long time to say it, and maybe it's too late, but I couldn't live any longer without you knowing how I really feel. The angels show us that this moment is full of conflicting emotions. There is relief at finally sharing something so intimate, but also fear, because words once spoken cannot be taken back. This person, who has so often opted for silence, is now vulnerable in front of you, stripped of masks, with their heart exposed. Dear soul, the angels whisper that this is a moment of choice, both for her and for you. They ask you to take a deep breath and connect with your essence before responding. What does your heart say? What do you feel when you hear those words you've been waiting for? It's possible that old emotions will resurface, perhaps the hurt of moments gone by or the joy of feeling so deeply wanted. What matters, the angels say, is that you honor your truth, whatever it may be. If there is still room for reconnection, let that space be filled with sincerity and love. If you feel it's time to move in another direction, do so with kindness and respect. At this moment, the angels are present, guiding your every word and gesture. They know that this is a transformative moment, a watershed in your journey. Whatever the outcome, it will be a step forward, a move towards truth and growth. The angels also ask you to recognize this person's courage. It's not easy to expose your heart, especially after so long. This vulnerability, however challenging, is proof of how much they value you and what you have shared. Dear soul, whatever you decide, know that this is a moment of healing for her, because she has finally expressed what needed to be said. For you, because you now have the clarity and opportunity to choose what you want for the future. The angels are by your side, enveloping both of you with energy of love and protection. They remind you that in every choice there is a lesson, and that by honoring your truth, you are also honoring your soul's purpose. This moment, although intense, is a gift, a chance to let go of what no longer serves you, and to embrace what is true. After the moment of truth, the world looks a little different. For both you and this person, there is a new space of understanding, as if the barriers that once separated you had been broken down. But with this also comes the need to integrate the emotions and decisions that have emerged from this confession. The angels show us that for this person, the act of opening up was liberating. It's as if a weight they had been carrying for a long time has finally been lifted. But this freedom doesn't come without its complications. Now she wonders, did I do enough? Does she understand how I feel? What if there's nothing more I can do? These thoughts oscillate between hope and uncertainty, creating a whirlwind of feelings that makes her revisit every word spoken, every glance exchanged. For you, dear Alma, the angels recognize that this is also an intense moment. Perhaps your heart feels lighter, as if something that had been trapped has finally been released. Or perhaps you are processing the impact of this revelation, trying to understand how it fits into your present and your future. Whatever the case, the angels ask you to give yourself the time and space you need to reflect. Before we continue, write in the comments, "I welcome my truth with love and wisdom." Now, let's move on. The angels show us that this is a period of inner transformation. For both of us, there is deep learning going on. This person, who has spent so long fearing the consequences of opening up, now realizes that love is not something that can be controlled or repressed. It needs to be experienced, even if the outcome is not exactly what was hoped for. For you, the lesson lies in choice, in the power to decide how this truth fits into your life. There is a scene that the angels share as a symbol of this transformation. Imagine a garden that was covered in dry leaves, where nothing seemed to grow. But now, with the light of truth illuminating every corner, you begin to see sprouts emerging, little signs of life where before there was only stagnation. This is the power of a heart that opens up to healing, forgiveness, and new possibilities. The angels also point out that at this time, it is essential that you trust your intuition. They understand that the words spoken by this person were profound and moving, but remind you that their future actions will tell you even more about what they really feel and want. Pay attention to their gestures, to the efforts they make to show that they are committed to honoring what they have shared. Dear soul, the angels ask you to see this moment as a new beginning, not necessarily in the sense of resuming what was interrupted, but in the sense of creating something new, something that respects who you are today and what you want for the future. Whether with this person or on another path, the important thing is that you remain true to your truth. They also stress the importance of forgiveness, both for yourself and for this person. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or minimizing what happened, but rather releasing the weight of the past so that it doesn't influence your choices in the present. The angels remind us that forgiveness is an act of self-love, a way of saying, "I choose peace above all else." As this person continues their journey, the angels show that they are determined to prove that their words were not in vain. There is a sincerity in their efforts, a genuine desire to make things right, but they also ask you to observe without haste, allowing time to reveal what is true and lasting. Dear soul, this is a time of great transformation, not just in your relationships, but within yourself. The angels are by your side, guiding every step, every decision. They whisper that by embracing your truth, you are creating space for love and happiness to enter your life in a full and meaningful way. Trust that, whatever the outcome, you are exactly where you are meant to be. The universe is conspiring in your favor, and the angels are working tirelessly so that everything aligns for your greater good. The angels lead us to the final chapter of this journey, a moment when transformation reaches its peak, and the heart finds space to be reborn. What began as a shy confession now blossoms into new possibilities, weaving what could be a narrative of healing, reconnection, and genuine love. This person, after opening their heart, feels that something has changed profoundly. The relief of having shared their feelings is mixed with the expectation of what is to come. The angels show us that she is committed to proving with actions that the words spoken were not just an outburst, but a starting point. Small gestures begin to emerge, more frequent messages, invitations to talk, efforts to show that you are a priority. For you, dear Alma, this moment is just as transformative. The angels say it's as if you've rediscovered parts of yourself that were dormant. Perhaps love, trust, or even the ability to forgive have been revived. This rebirth doesn't just depend on that person, but on something greater. A universal energy that works to align your life with what is purest and truest. Before we close, write in the comments, "I accept the love that the universe has for me." Now let's conclude this message together. The angels want you to know that, whatever direction this relationship takes, you have come out of this journey stronger and wiser. What has been said, what has been revealed, has shed light on dark parts of the past, allowing you to move forward with more clarity and lightness. They also point out that this is the time to celebrate the present. Don't get lost in worrying about the future or revisiting what has gone before. Instead, focus on the small joys of now, the moments that fill your heart with gratitude and hope. The angels share a vision of the two of you together, talking in a quiet place, perhaps in a park or a family cafe. In this scene, there is laughter, sincere glances, and the feeling that, despite all the adversities, something beautiful is being built. Whether it's a renewed friendship, a rekindled love, or simply a shared peace, the important thing is that you are finding your way to the truth. Dear soul, the angels ask you to allow yourself to trust again, not just in others, but in yourself. Trust that the decisions you have made along this journey have been guided by your inner wisdom and the love you carry in your heart. Trust that the universe is always working in your favor, even when the path seems uncertain. If there's one final message the angels want to leave you with, it's that you deserve the kind of love that enlightens, that strengthens, that heals. You deserve to be loved fully, without hesitation or reservation. And this journey was just a reminder of that. You are worthy of all that is most beautiful and true in the world. Dear Alma, as this story draws to a close, the angels continue to be by your side, whispering words of encouragement and love. They ask you to keep your heart open, because what lies ahead is even more wonderful than you can imagine. The future is a blank book, and you have the power to write it in the way that most resonates with your truth. If this message resonated with you and your situation, write in the comments, "I accept the love and transformation that the universe has prepared for me." Share your experiences in the comments. If you like this video, like it and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content. Thanks for watching, and we'll